Welcome back to the TV Watercooler Podcast. In today's episode, I'm catching up with Jacqueline MacInnes Wood, who plays Steffy Forrester on The Bold and the Beautiful. The Canadian actress opens up about Steffy's latest ordeal, her fierce loyalty to the Forrester family and company, her closeness with her mother Taylor, her rivalry with Hope, and the safety Steffy has found with Finn. Have a listen. So it's been an exciting time for Steffi. Her life was just saved. She was trapped in a cage by Luna. What was that like? Did you get claustrophobic in that cage?
Uh, yeah, luckily I did not get claustrophobic, but it was pretty funny because like once you're in there, you're kind of in there. It's a whole thing to unlock it because obviously they for continuity purposes and the way we move so quickly, like you have to make sure everything's right, and so they have to lock it every single time. But yeah, we were at least did a phenomenal job. We worked so well together. I was really excited to work with her, and yeah, I just wasn't expecting that storyline. It just turned so quickly. Like I've always said, you never know what the writers are going to throw at you, but I was not expecting that. It was the Finn situation, Hope Finn situation, right into a cage. But yeah, we worked our butts off. We were there. Steffi obviously was in the cage for many days, but we were also filming that for a few days. So yeah, my throat, everything. We were just the screaming and the emotional scenes, but yeah, we got through it. It was
Yeah,
certainly fun.
Finn and Lee saved the day. Um, Steffi's been put through so much, I guess, mental trauma. Do you think that there'll ever be a story where you could explore some of her fears, that she's had to deal with Sheila? She had stuff when, even when she was a kid. Do you think that'll
Yeah,
eventually come bubbling up?
I think so. I mean, I always think it's right there. Steffi always tries to keep her composure and tries to be so poised and but it's bubbling, like it's brewing. It's she's fiery. It takes that one thing to set her off. But I always say like she's fierce and loyal, but yeah, there's a lot of trauma there. There's so many things that she's been through. I wouldn't even know where to begin. So I try to play a lot of that in my scenes. Again, we're humans. Some days it's like it's fine, some days you're not, and it can be likable, it can be unlikable, but that's who Steffi is. Like Steffi is just, she's very protective of her family, the family name, and she's protective of her family, just the Finn, and she's a mama bear to her children. So it takes that one thing to like, it could possibly set her off, but she's a warrior and she's feisty. She's really, really fun to play. But yeah, and I understand, like she's just been through like everything she has, from the daddy issues to being kidnapped to her mom with who has been gone for so long and she hasn't been able to lean on her mother, and really not having anyone, Phoebe. I mean, it goes on and on. So I try to always have something there, because I don't think she's ever has it right. I think she sometimes can be addicted to the drama.
Is she still packing some heat there? I mean, Sheila's just walking around Il Giardino.
I know. Yeah. Well, Steffi has to keep her head on a swivel. She has to be constantly cognizant of her surroundings. That's for sure. And again, because she is a mom, she's protective of Kelly and Hayes. So yeah, she definitely has her head on a swivel.
All right. Now let's talk about that rivalry with Hope. Hope's starting a romance on the download with Carter. She's on probation with the Hope for the Future line. What can you tease that's coming up when Steffi finds out that, she's got an office romance that she's not supposed to really be doing right now?
Yeah, well, the rivalry is back. And it obviously started with Hope and Finn finding out about that. So her target is Hope, and it may be a little bit personal, but it's also business too. There is the line Hope for the Future, and it is underperforming. The numbers aren't doing well. So yeah, that helps Steffi, but ultimately she does want the company to succeed, and the numbers aren't doing well. And clearly, Hope has her eyes on Finn, which came out of nowhere. And Steffi, she's just she's coming in with gloves are off right now. Gloves are off. She doesn't obviously know about Carter just yet, but it will be pretty explosive, I think, when she finds out, because it's the work. So it's the Forrester name.
Yeah.
That's what is important to Steffi.
And Carter's history with Steffi's, going after Steffi's grandfather's wife at the time. So,
Yes,
yeah,
yes. Thank you for reminding me of that. There's been so many stories. My goodness.
so many beats. Yeah. How do
That's
you,
why I always love these interviews, and I always love, when people DM me on social media, because they remind me of things. I'm like, you're right. I'm gonna play that tomorrow because I totally forgot that Hope did that long ago. I'm gonna lean into this.
um, so Steffi has her mom back. What's it been like creating that mother-daughter dynamic with Rebecca Budig in the role?
Well, Rebecca is so wonderful. Yeah. Well, Steffi, of course, is thrilled to have her mom back. She's there's nothing like having their mom back, and she's really close with her mother, and Steffi obviously has been through a lot, so it's nice being able to lean on her. But yeah, Rebecca is wonderful. Oh my gosh, we have such a good laugh in between the scenes, and yeah, she's just so additive to the group and so kind and just patient, and yes, yeah, she gives a new spin to Taylor, which is fun. But Steffi really needs her mother, obviously. Taylor's not being honest right now about her situation, being terminally ill. But there's like a no bond like Steffi and Taylor. They're just so extremely close.
What can you tease for us? Should Steffi find out about Taylor's illness? Does she have a moment to get mad, or is she right there in like, oh no, how can I help mode?
I think it's a mixture of feelings. I think what you'll see is Steffi and Taylor just getting more closure about certain things coming up, being really open and honest and raw with one another. But yeah, at the moment, it's kind of switched. It's switched roles. Steffi kind of has to be the mama bear in that situation.
And what about with Ridge for keeping that secret? Any fireworks there?
I mean, there's always fireworks with Steffi, always little zingers here and there, but she understands. She understands loyalty and having to keep the right secrets for the family. And yeah, he wasn't gonna rat out his mom. And Steffi, like I said, having the zinger, of course, you wanted him to say something, but she understands.
Okay. And speaking of being protective of, the family unit, there's Brooke. Now she's co-CEO. Would Steffi, ask Brooke, maybe you should step aside if Taylor is truly, going to die, give her some of that happiness.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Steffi is leading the company, and she wants to take control of the company, and she wants people like Ridge to trust her judgment. Like I said, she's thinking of the company. It's the Forrester name. It's the brand. So it is kind of a shock to Brooke coming in and making certain choices and knowing that she only, really modeled for the lingerie line, and she's done a few things here and there, but it's not like Steffi's namesake, or just like I said, the Forrester name, little being tarnished a little bit. So again, Steffi's just extremely protective, and when she's protective with her family and the company, that's all she thinks about. So yeah, she would love for Brooke to kind of step aside. Um, she's just not doesn't really respect her opinions.
Yeah. Now you mentioned the namesake. I feel as Steffi's, getting older now, she's
Mhm.
definitely fitting into that OG Stephanie Forrester mold. Having, acted opposite Susan Flannery all those years ago, how does it feel to, the stage has been set for you to take on that mantle?
Yeah, I think it's a huge honor. I love Susan. My goodness, she was absolutely wonderful. Yeah, it feels like it's all kind of aligning the way it should, especially for Steffi. They always test with different storylines and see what works, but I feel like Steffi's being true to herself. She's finally figured herself out, and I could say that for, just people in general and humans. That's what we do when we grow, when we learn more about ourselves. And I think it comes a time, I think all of us humans, we get old, and then you just have zero Fs. You don't really care. You are who you are, and if you don't mesh well, if you don't like what I'm putting down, then bye. So I think Steffi's really leaning into that. She is her namesake, and she's very comfortable with who she is.
Awesome. Phoebe's getting mentioned a lot. I know you're Steffi and Phoebe, they weren't on screen at the same time, and somehow they stopped being identical twins. Would you ever, I don't know, put on a blonde wig and play a baddie? That
People
would be
have asked me that for yeah, many years. I worked with Phoebe. I worked with Phoebe a
yeah.
long time, very, very brief. People have asked me that. So young Jackie would have said yes. Young Jackie would be like, yeah, let's do it. Older Jackie would potentially do like a storyline if it was smaller, sew
Okay.
down. but the amount of dialogue that we already do, just the things in my everyday life that I'm juggling, and I just, we're banging out 4 episodes a day and then rewrites and everything. Yeah, I don't know if it would be something I would do it for like a month, try
Okay.
it out, but I don't think I would do longer than that. I'd say we need to bring in a Phoebe.
Okay. No, that's fair. Now, speaking of, a lot of work, some of your other cast members are, so Heather Tom's been directing, she's now writing, Lawrence has been writing. Would you ever consider branching out like that?
Not right now, no. No, no, I really like the rhythm that we're in. I think Heather's doing a great job. I think Lawrence is doing a great job, and I just love to root for everyone. I want everyone to, like, the sky is the limit. You go for it. But the season that I'm in right now, I love coming in. I love doing my job, and then I love being at home with my family and being a mom. And I'm just, though, that's my other role, my one of my most important roles. So if it's taking more time away from my children in this season, no, that's not for me right now.
Fine. So what can you tease for the SINN fans? I know there's like an online movement to have another Cinnabon.
Oh, really? Interesting. Okay, I'll push for another Cinnabon. That is super cute. I have not heard that. Oh my goodness. Uh, you know what? I think right now they're super sexy and fun, and it's just they're just really settling into one another. They've been through so much, and they're just finally they are getting to breathe. Even though Hope went after Finn, she still knows her husband. Like, that's on her, not on him. And he's just a kind human being, and he's super honest, and he trusts him, and they're enjoying this moment. But yeah, it's super sexy and super real with one another, and he's finally her safe place.
And you'd say that with, would you think that she finally feels at peace, that's, she has that safe space that she could never have with Liam?
Oh, she can, yeah, no, I don't think she, yeah, of course, like I said, Steffi loves a little drama here and there, and yeah, she can turn it on when she needs to. But no, her ultimate goal right now, she's been through so much, is to feel safe. She can't be in this adrenaline, cortisol, wondering if something or someone is going to attack her, wondering if someone is going to leave her, all the abandonment issues. It's not good for her. It wouldn't be healthy. So she finally needs to take a breath and be with someone who she feels safe with, who's rooting for her, and she doesn't have to question his loyalty.